it's really, well, it's not a strict comedy, but it has a lot of comedy in it, hasn't it? And because it's based on this, the story of a wedding in a small French village, and all the intrigue that has gone on, you know, with the guests and the bridegroom. And Ashton uses his choreography to actually show some of the comical aspects of their characters. He really admired Nijinska, who was a choreographer, the sister of Nijinska, and she had done a ballet called Les Biches, and there are steps in Wedding Bouquet that sort of remind you of Les Biches, and he was influenced by her. And also, you know, even the great classics, even Sleeping Beauty, that there are steps there that are quite familiar with that are in the great classics that are in this ballet as well. And they're slightly done quite differently, just with a little bit of sarcasm.
Yes, I think musically speaking, it's a very approachable piece in the sense that the mood of each section is very evident, isn't it? There's no doubt about what is actually happening and the mood of the group on stage.
And they're sort of small, they're all sort of actually divided into small scenes, really, aren't they?
Exactly right, yes. But it is quite a large orchestration. I mean, at least you'd need at least 46 musicians to make this happy. So one of the things that you have to be very, very careful about is the balance, so that the narrator doesn't have to shout too much to get it across. And of course the narration is quite repetitive, but that's wonderful because it means that the audience can actually watch the ballet and be just aware of the narration on the side. I mean, after all, the narrator sits on the side of the stage.
Yes.
It is tiny little things that shake, and were it not for its delicate blue colour, would there be any reason to suppose it otherwise?
Well, actually, the narrative, a lot of it is sort of nonsense speak, really, isn't it? I mean, Stein actually, you know, she tried to actually turn the whole language on its head, and you know, she was very influenced by, you know, Cubism and Picasso, and she wanted to apply that to speech, didn't she? And so there are only sort of snippets and glimpses of the characters in the narration, but it gives you an idea, but it's not literal, is it, the narration?
No, but I think, I mean, one of the feelings I've had thinking about what I should do with the narration, with the words, is that it does underlie the sinister elements. As the wedding goes on, everybody arrives in good mood and they're all happy and it's wonderful, and then suddenly you start to get inputs of all the undercurrents, yeah, of all the difficulties in the community and the difficulties between certain characters. And so it adds another layer to the whole event.
It had quite a success because it was humorous, and a lot of ballets are quite serious, and it's quite difficult to portray subtle humour in dance, I think.
I see what you mean. Yes, that's very interesting.
I think, you know, it was a sort of strong point of the piece, really. Yeah.
Thinking also of the score along those lines, considering that it was written in 1936, it is amazingly tonal and melodic, and creates a mood which is really just every day in the village. You wouldn't even think that Debussy and Stravinsky had been alive at this point.
Yeah.
But I love the score. It's very, very well orchestrated, and a pleasure to play and conduct.
Dancers who have individual characters, they're like normal people, really. But the choreography, there is a lot of dancing in the piece. They're you know, classical steps and quite challenging, actually. But It's a light piece. It's a piece that is to be enjoyed, really, and sort of to send you home in quite a good mood, I think. Just
always with that little question mark in the back of your mind.
Yes.
Is everything as wonderful as it seems on the surface? I think for all of them, for all three of them, Gertrude Stein, Lord Berners and Ashton, what they love is to have this wonderful charm and happiness on the surface, and then the little threads of difficulty and intrigue and underneath. It's a wonderful mix, which is, after all, so often a reflection of what society is all about, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yes.